Hi guys, so today we will be discussing about GMD data table, especially 2.3.0. This is the link for the demo. So okay, so we have links also for GitHub and Slack here. So let's start out on the standard data table. So next tutorial maybe we should discuss the remaining parts of it. But now let's start the standard. So here you can see multiple selections. So we have you can change the data table title. You can play with the selection type, single, multiple. So multiple selection, we have single selection, we have also densities and sticky header. So if you want to have the header to be stick on top, and you have also the stripe type. So those are the configurations that we want to discuss later on. um, okay, so let's start defining it, and also you can check the source code. So the source code, you can see the what you call this, the UI binder, and also um, the Java side. So let's open up the Java side. Okay, and then maybe we can just open up the project now. Here you can see we have a new created project. So if you are seeing my previous tutorial on how to set up the project, maybe you could just go in there, just set up basic project from the archetype. So right here, okay, so let's start defining the data table through UI binder. So here we just need the namespace. Oh, before that, I forgot. Before that, we need to make sure that we are inheriting the dependency of GMD data table, gwt-material table, and our version was 2.3.0. And also make sure on the resources or on the gwt module we are inheriting the data table too. So inherits gwt-material data table. After that, so after you have the dependency loaded and also the module added, next thing is you need to define the namespace. So the namespace here is m colon table, and then that material data table. So here we're just telling that we have the UI field and shadow height and margin bottom. So just for the CSS styles right there. And here we need to define our data table so that we can add columns. So material data table, and then we need to provide the model. So here maybe we could just create here, let's just create a user model, for example, and let's create a what are the needed fields we need. Let's go back here. Email, maybe you could just grab the first name, email, phone. Yeah, first name, email, phone, company, city, and zip code. Let's define this getter and setters. So right there, so we have this user object, so we can just provide it right here. So we want to display all the users. Oh, we want to make sure we're just okay. Data table. What field do we need to? Okay, table. Okay, so we have there. Next thing is we need to define the columns of it. So on the unattached, so add column. So let's first define the first name, and we need to find a new text column. Okay, and here we should define the user. Okay, and here just over the get value, and then let's say object that get first name. Okay, And then right here, we need to define the other columns. Let's just copy paste all of those. We have first name. What else? We have email, and then get email. We have also phone, get phone, and then company, get company, and then next is city, get city. Yeah, let's just make it in theory you can make use of any um object types. Here, zip code, get zip code. Yeah, this is pretty basic. So we populated all the columns. So what might be the next thing is we need to make sure that we are just setting up. We need to set up the the data table of data object. So we need to provide all the users from here. So after we compose it, so we need to provide user lists object. Okay, so into that, so we need to make sure we have to provide the objects. So um, in theory this could be pulled out from the remote services or from the backend. So for this I'm just creating a simple one. So add user. So we have a name there, so maybe you can just fill this out. Okay, so we have there, let's add 5 users. Let's just add the for loops in I maybe we should just add okay, so we have gendo plus I, gen at email dot I, phone number plus I, company plus I, city. Let's just make them in New York. I don't know the zip code of New York, but let's just fake it for now. And yeah, so we're just adding these fake users, and then what's next is to set it to the data table. So so setting it, you just need table that set row model, set row data. So start, so we're starting from the 0, and then let's set the data. And then once you have that, so you can just refresh, get view that refresh, so it will refresh the data table. Okay, so to summarize it, we have set the data binder, injecting it, I mean UI field and annotated UI field, and then adding the columns we need to have, and then provide the user list object and set it to the data table. So that's the basic one. So let's refresh the page now. So okay, so it was running. It. Oh, I think that was okay, maybe you could just restart. Okay, our data table title is drawn out, so that's good. So let's check what else we can do. Okay, so next is how about Yeah, so we need to check, we need to set the data table title. We can just copy that here. So here what it does, it gets the data table title, table title text. I think this was a span, and it's set text. Okay, and next thing is what else we can do. um, you can also set the selection type. For now, our data table tutorial doesn't have any selection type, so you can just call this method. Oh no, it's not that. Here, so table that set selection type. So you can just make use of multi-selection, multiple. Okay, so let's back to our source code. Next is you can also set density. So if you want to display it compressed, or I think it was, yeah, compressed. So I'm not sure if it's density that, oh, or it was display density that compact. Oh yeah, compact. Next, we can also use the sticky header. So we have the sticky header, so let's just copy that and paste it. So true. Okay, so to summarize it, we have built this configuration customization to our data table. So we customize the table text title, we have the selection type multiple, density of compact, and using the sticky header. So let's now refresh our demo. Okay, there you go. So you have a more compact data table, and you have a selection types right here with what do you call this, with checkbox. So yeah, so stay tuned on the next tutorial. So on the next data table tutorial, we will be discussing about handlers, on how you have a selection handlers, row selection handlers specifically, and also the getting the selected rows, and hiding these icons, adding icons, pagers, and infinite data tables, and many more. So those are the next targets for this tutorial. So thanks. I hope you enjoyed this demo.